DM Critics is a podcast which emerged from art criticism happening in private DMs. In this episode, artists Jill and Dana reflect on art making as an act of negotiation between intention and an unknowable, self-revealing process. The conversation engages with the alien nature of both AI-generated and human-created art.
Well, I kind of feel like in my work, what I was doing at first was kind of just aping like John Rathman, because like that was sort of all I knew, and so, you know, I would find myself like imitating him when I didn't even really intend to. And now, like, I feel like I've moved on to something different. Like, I've sort of been doing that enough to where it's like laid the groundwork for me to like develop my own ideas, but a lot of these look very Rathman. Like, it looks like they're a little bit stuck on Rathman. And some of it does look really good, but yeah, I think it's a little bit too Rathman, honestly.
With Angel Vape, I was trying to like, I was like, fuck, like these are such interesting images. Like I really love what, but I just like blend images and just like keep doing it. But then I always like, I just feel sometimes with the static image that I just want to do more. So I end up like doing the like edits on them, just adding shit, or like making them into a meme or something, just like giving them some life in a way. Just like feeling like I'm collaborating with the AI instead of just like, you know, accepting the results. So I just like add shit to it. And yeah, I really like, I'm fascinated by the idea of like using different forms together, like AI mixed with like real life footage, like photos I took, and then like, I don't know, like just adding text, like adding many elements from different sources to just like one canvas. I don't know, I just call it blind photography. That's what I call it.
So, I'm kind of trying to put my finger on how to ask this. Like, your work, I think, sometimes speaks to a feeling of like isolation, but it's this very specific thing. Like, even the photos that you take really feel like they have this thing, and I'm not sure if it's just, I'm not sure if you intend for that to happen or if it just comes out. Like, sometimes when I would make drawings and stuff, I had a friend who would comment that my drawings tended to glow, and that's not something that I really like intended at all. And so I was wondering, like, if you know what I'm talking about your work and whether or not you intend it, and if you do, like, what it is that's going into that. And yeah, feel free not to answer if you want to keep it a little more secretive.
I know what you mean. That's it's you know, what Derrida would call an aporia or something. It's like a concept or something that you can't really, like, it's like an impossible thing to pin down, honestly. But I'm really happy that, you know, you or some people like feel a certain way about my work, and like there's something that, you know, transpires. And I feel like this is something that has to do with each artist's like spirit or something. I don't know, like I haven't thought about this a lot. I don't know, I would be interested to know what that is, because no, it is not like, I don't sit down and like think, oh, I want my work to have this effect. But so when I make my work, I think the beautiful thing that for me and why I enjoy creating is not about like finishing something or showing it to people. That's like, of course, a big part of it. But honestly, like, what really motivates me most of the time is just like I treat the work of art as this alien object that will show itself to me, that will appear to me, and when it does, I will know that it's good and I will feel something. And I'm just trying to make myself feel something. It's like auto I don't know, I mean, Derrida also wrote about this. It's kind of like auto pleasure or something.
You know, there's a meme that I made that it kind of reminds me of. I don't think that, like, the vibe is the same, but I think that maybe it's a good, like, descriptor of the vibe. I'll send it right now. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying there. Like, it kind of just comes through naturally. Like, I was talking yesterday about how when I make my work, like, I don't really have, like, content in mind. It's more just, like, I have design in mind, especially for the stuff that I make offline. And then usually, like, I'll have this idea, and then I'll make it, you know, sort of based on, like, the design elements that I want. And then I can kind of go back after and, like, draw lines of meaning. And I think that the same thing happened with that collage that I sent you. Like, of course, it's just like cut up printouts of like posts that I've made. But, you know, there's the whole thing where on top there's like this like self-indulgence of the selfies. And then if you cut that away, there's what it reveals is like an inability to meet your own needs. And you know, the keys, like, they imply something kind of secret or illicit. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, the way that, like, the ideas just kind of like flow, and the beauty or the design comes first, I think.
I know some people like approach their self-image and like their work as like kind of like branding, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna do this and brand myself in this way, and I will post in this manner, I will dress like this. But for me, it's like more a holistic approach. Like, it's everyday life for me is like this aesthetic experience. Because like, if I don't aestheticize my being, I'm not gonna be able to survive one day on Earth. That's what I feel like. I'd die of depression or something. So that's, I think, why everything has like emits this like kind of vibe.
But it does make me curious about maybe like the psychology of that very specific thing that you touch on. And I think it comes through particularly in Angel Vape, but sometimes, yeah, your photographs just and like it feels like something that I've felt before. I don't know, but they evoke something just very curious.
I agree. It's like, it's all about negotiating with time, space, and the work of art that you're making. So sometimes, like with Monad, I would procrastinate for days and then do a bit, like maybe a minute. When I did the first minute, the opening shot, like that was, to me, that was like, what the fuck did I just make? Because that was like the first, like I spent hours making that one. I don't know why. And the rest actually came easier. But that one, like, I spent so much time just making the intro. Like, that was, I don't know why, it was like so important for me to just like get the opening. And yeah, it was just interesting to me. I don't know how I made it. Still, I don't know how I got the idea to make it. Probably if I try to make something again like that, I don't know if I will be able to, but maybe I will. But yeah, I just like love this encounter with the unknown. When one is making art, I feel like a lot of people think that artists like engineer everything when they're making art. but there's a lot of like the unconscious at work. Like ideas, references, what your hand is guiding you to do, what the tools you're using are guiding you to do. Like all of these things, I feel like most people don't understand, because now everything is more about like concepts. Someone comes and they just like make something that they didn't even touch or do anything with, and they just put a concept on it and they call it art, because they're thinking that their ideas are great, but your idea, like the conscious ideas, are not that great actually. The best ideas are the unconscious ideas, and that's, I don't know, maybe it could be like a David Lynch vibes, but like sometimes the ideas in David Lynch that seem to be psychological actually like feel very conscious, but the things that slip through his works are there's so many unconscious things that happen. Okay, where was I going with this? Yeah, so there's so much excitement when working with AI again. It's like, oh, you're blending images and you don't know where it's going, and then something happens, and then you take that with intention and you make something from it. But it's also like, I'm editing now a film with my friend. I told him like, let the images speak, like let's wait and see what the images tell us to do. Like not have a structure kinda is better. We have some text, that's a structure already, that's like your form work or whatever, and then you start like moving things around, and yeah, it's just like a game.
Have you ever read the art critic Dave Hickey? He has this very straightforward way of writing, and he his main project was to get beauty back into the conversation of art criticism, and I think he was reacting to the way that art is like often judged by the ideas that go into them and these kind of like secondary things, whereas he seems to be more interested in kind of like the immediacy of what's on the plane. And when I read some of that work, I think it really changed my approach to how I create art, because he takes the images very seriously, and he has a lot of faith in like the ability of images to do something, and like the beauty and the design and the like the image comes first, like the stuff you can say about it, like that comes after, and usually like the stuff that you say about it after, that should be something that went into it unconsciously. I might just be repeating myself now.
No, absolutely. Like, I think there was this scene from I Love Dick, the Chris Kraus adaptation, where this guy was like, I'm post-idea or something. He sounded very like edgy, but I think about this a lot because I want my work to generate ideas that I can think with instead of me imposing ideas on anyone or anything that I'm making. Yeah, I don't know what an idea is even. Like, if I start making a film or a painting, or even if I'm writing something, is it the idea that drives the work or the writing, or what? Like, what is the impulse here? It's a very interesting thing to think about. I just posted, I don't know if you've seen it on my Substack, like this fictional interview with a fictional artist or something that doesn't. And I just think there's something interesting about the subjectivity of the artist, like just being an artist, and what that does to you as a person and how it changes the way you express yourself and how you think and how you talk. I have friends who just like decided, only one friend actually who I know of, who just decided not to be an artist anymore, or just like to change the way they frame themselves as artists. I'm gonna like make an extended series of like these kind of fictional interviews and submit them somewhere, hopefully by the end of the month.
Yeah, like that meme that I made, I brought you gift. What I did there was I kind of just fed my selfies into Stable Diffusion, and then I had it create like women that look similar to me, and then I combined it with like weird like motherboard stuff and kind of like tacky pink stuff, and then I posted this thing and it was just kind of silly, and then like I saw that a lot of the people, like, for some reason this particular thing like resonated, and when I made it I was like, oh, this is just kind of funny, like it looks like she's like handing you something, but there seemed to be some, maybe it's when I put the red hat on her, I don't know, but there seems to be something that like resonated with people about that, and I'm not sure what it was. Yeah, and it's just strange to see when I make something where kind of the energy that I put into it is like, oh, this is going to be silly, like I'm just going to play with these words or whatever, and then like a week later, like I see other people using it who I didn't expect even really to see it. Yeah, it's just funny.
Yeah, that's like what I don't like about like most exhibition oriented art, where like you have the exhibition text, and then you have the press release, and then you have the name of the artist, and then their place in the economy of the market, and then like all of these things, and all of that like strips like all of this like really makes the whole like making a work of art that has like something novel and exciting is like really hard, because you're just like working in a domain where so many other people are controlling your outcome, and yeah, just like strips out the joy and pleasure of making art and thinking with art away. Yeah, and like if they ask the artist about their process, they would say, oh, I make art because I'm exploring the intersections of blah blah, and my art is trying to, and it's just like the artist starting to posture as this very important person who's like actually inventing or exploring something that no one else has been exploring, or like contributing to a field of research that is just like valuable as a commodity, as like something that is just attractive to the market in any shape or form, instead of just like, I don't know, exploring different things, you know? Yeah. So I really want to explore this, like the artist's subjectivity and what does that mean, and
yeah, Dave Hickey wrote in an essay about how he sponsored or wrote about this group of like young artists, I think in the 90s, who he really appreciated, and I guess that one of these kids was like mad at him for not like calling the LA Times, for not like bringing the LA Times down to them, and he was like, you know, in my time as like an artist and an art dealer, I would be so embarrassed to have the LA Times at my exhibition. He's like, why do you expect this? It would be like having, you know, your mom's like garden party friends walking around there. Yeah. There's someone in this AI group chat, this AI art group chat, that I was actually, I was gonna stick Angel Vape in there, and then for some reason, like, it wouldn't let me. But that was before that. That was before I knew it was you. So this guy, he said that he doesn't really like AI art, actually, because AI art always seems to kind of be about AI, and then ever since he said that, I think my project has pretty much been to like try and make art using AI that transcends that, that's like not just about AI. And like I don't I want for the image to speak for itself, not the process or the tools.
Yeah, that's like, that's how people are position themselves against like AI art. They're like, oh, it's about the tool, it's about the technology. And that's also like what we talked about when we were speaking about like internet art and Open Secret and the films and stuff. But it's clearly like, if you actually engage with AI in any serious way or even playful way, you will realize that it's not about AI only, and it's about how we're relating to this, I don't know, very interesting way of creating. And I just disagree with this person completely. And why is he in a group chat about AI when he doesn't like it? AI is such a democratic tool. It's everywhere now. If you go on WhatsApp or like here, like you can use Meta AI and shit. Like everyone has access to it. And that thing, the fact that it's naturalized right now, makes it very interesting to work with. And I think more people should make AI art, or just incorporate AI in their work in different ways. And I think everyone has been doing that. I don't know, I think it's magical. I love it. I think it's a mystical experience to work with AI.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's deal is. He he likes to repost what I make sometimes. But yeah, there is like a general sentiment of like the impoverishment of like art that's made using AI. And I don't think that, well, I have like conflicting feelings about this because like I think that most of the stuff that's going to be made like at first on a new tool, it's going to be like rough, and there's only like a very limited number of artists that are like actually good. But I don't think that like AI art has to be the way that it's described when it's like disparaged. And I've always kind of had this like rebellious streak, or this like contrarian streak, and in my work in this collage class, like my professor will comment on how I'm sort of using this stuff to like press buttons. And it's funny because when I do that, the button that I usually press does not end up being about like the content of the piece. Like no one really cared that I said that like I can't come or whatever. It was just like the design was overwhelming for them. And I feel like now the way that rebellious streak is manifesting is like sort of trying to prove those critics wrong, specifically the critics of like AI and AI art. Like it doesn't need to be the way that they're describing. And yeah, I want to be like one of those people that like actually like does that thing with that tool. Yeah. Yeah, and it's also just about the quantity too. Like I think that there's just so much out there that only like a limited amount of it could really be good. And I think honestly I only really follow like artists that use AI that I like. But I understand, like, if I wasn't exposed to like good AI art, maybe I would feel the same way. But yeah, there's part of me now that like maybe earnestly or maybe like rebelliously wants, I just have this impulse to be like, no, you know. But there's a lot of innovating to do, and if I could take part in that, that would make me very happy.
What excites me about AI is human beings. Our perception is so powerful.
I kind of feel like Nietzsche here in that I feel like the average person, or like the average experience of AI, will probably be somewhat demoralizing, and I think most people will not know how to use it, you know, and therefore will be left behind, you know, in this like rapidly accelerating landscape. But then also, I think that the very few people who really do know how to use it, and who use it in a way that is like strong, they will take it to heights that are like nearly unimaginable, and that's really going to be the part of it that matters, I think.
I just love what Charlotte Fang said about how AI rendered all the deviant artists kind of like they just, their art doesn't have any value anymore because AI can make it easily. But then those who remain, like, it's like, it just like filters out those who make really bad art, I feel. Maybe, not sure, because there's still bad art that can't be replicated by AI. Like, AI has not mastered making all the bad art that exists, and bad art needs to exist, of course, in one way or another. Like, imagine an AI generated conceptual show about that is just like purely about politics or something, and it's just like really bad. Like, it's not deep enough. It's just like AI generated fully. That would be a cool idea, actually. But the thing is, like, once we realize it's AI made, we start thinking about so much shit. I think like there's something interesting about AI in general and what AI does. I mean, when I made Monad, I call it Monad Plus, because there's always like this plus thing that like just escapes, and that allows for more expansion. And I feel like once AI enters the game, there's always this like kind of like opening. I really like that. So to me, it's more about what AI can do and where it can lead, and how does it affect other works of art. Like, for example, you can make a film. Like, I'm filming something with my friend, and when we were making the images in the desert, I was telling him, this looks like Midjourney to me. Like, this is looks AI generated, but it's not. But it just like really looks AI generated. And I love this idea of like how AI trains our gaze and like the way we see things and the way we experience things. So yeah, like one of the main things that I'm exploring right now is how I'm being trained by AI.